What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another bang. So, we are finally here. We are finally at the NBA Finals. This has been a long journey, man. And hey, we got two great teams that will be participating in this NBA Finals. As you guys know, the Dallas Mavericks made it to the NBA Finals on the Western side, and the Boston Celtics have made it to the NBA Finals on the Eastern side. So, with that being said, this will be my breakdown on the NBA Finals and who I believe will win this series. With that being said, before we do hop into it, hey, I do want to shout out all you guys for the support that you have shown on the most recent videos. Y'all been going crazy on those. And without further ado, let's switch over and let's get right into it. Alright, so let's start off this breakdown by talking about the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics. Now, their road to the NBA Finals, it didn't really have too many hiccups. As we know, they beat the Miami Heat 4-1, so pretty much a gentleman's sweep. It was the same thing with the Cleveland Cavaliers as well. They beat them 4-1, and then they ended up finally beating the Indiana Pacers 4-0 to make it to the NBA Finals. And just based on their track record, you could kind of see that they didn't really have too many hiccups. You know, no team beat them twice, and that's definitely something good. That's definitely something that you like to see if you are a Boston Celtics fan. Now, just to point out some of the key players that will definitely be important during this series, number one, I gotta say, is Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, overall, he has been kind of struggling in the playoffs. For the playoffs, he actually has been shooting pretty much 44%, which isn't good. 44% from the field is definitely not good if you are relying on this player the most, as he is your star player. And then when it comes from three, he's only been shooting 29%. So that's definitely not a good look. That's definitely not a good sign. If you are a Boston Celtics fan, you definitely want the best player on your team, Jason Tatum, to be scoring efficiently, which he has not been doing. Now, one positive to notice that his rebounding has been off the charts. He's actually been averaging 10 rebounds per game during the playoffs, which is definitely great, especially for his position, him playing a small forward position. Now, let's talk about the second most important player on this team, and that is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown actually has been the best player during the playoffs, in my opinion. He's been shooting 54% from the field, which is amazing, and shooting 37% from three, which is also amazing. So he's definitely been balling. He's definitely been, the go-to player when it comes to the offense for this team. Now, let's talk about the intangible players, the players that can definitely make an impact that aren't the stars for this team. Those players will be, in my opinion, Jrue Holiday and also Kristaps Porzingis. The reason I say Kristaps Porzingis is because we don't even know if he will play. He's only played 4 games in this playoffs, so we don't necessarily know if he will play, but if he does play, that does change this matchup up a lot because he can't space the floor, and he's 7'2", 7'3", somewhere around that. So, he's a pretty solid rim protector as well. Now, Jrue Holiday, I'd say he's definitely an intangible and definitely a focal point just because of his defense. As we know, man, Luka and Kyrie, they've been cooking in the playoffs, and for the most part, Jrue Holiday more than likely will be the main defender for Kyrie Irving. And it's like, can he slow Kyrie down? Me personally, I give my opinion on if I think he can slow him down later on. But, hey, man, with that being said, let's switch over and talk about the Dallas Mavericks and their road to the NBA Finals. So, the Dallas Mavericks, in my opinion, I will say that they had a tougher road road going to the NBA Finals. So they started off by facing the Los Angeles Clippers. This series did go 6 games, and they ended up winning it 4-2. I do think that that's a tougher team than most of the teams that the Boston Celtics faced. They also ended up facing the Oklahoma City Thunder. They ended up beating them 4-2 as well. And then they finally ran up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they ended up beating them 4-1. So they showed a couple of chips in their armor, but not necessarily. Like I was saying, I do think that the Dallas Mavericks, they faced the harder competition on their road to the NBA Finals, and I do think that that should be something to note when it comes to this NBA Finals series. That, you know, the Dallas Mavericks, they, in my opinion, are kind of more proven because of the opposition that they faced. And with that being said, now I feel like it's time to really break down this series. Now, in my opinion, the most important aspect of this series will be, can the Boston Celtics slow down Luka and Kyrie? Now, some intangibles. Let me just focus on some of the intangibles with this team before we do actually break it down. So as we know, Luka, Kyrie, they both been going crazy when it comes to the playoffs, man. Luka, he has been averaging 28 points per game, and that's on 43% field goal, which isn't that great, I'll keep it real, but he has been shooting around 34% from 3, which also isn't good. But like I do say, you know, Luka, he does do a lot of the other things, such as rebounding. He had 9.6, so pretty much 10 rebounds. He also is a great passer at 9 assists per game. Even when it comes to steals, he's at 1.6. So even on the defensive end, he has been holding up decently well there. So although his stats are also, you know, lackluster, similar to Jason Tatum's, Luka, he's been doing the other things, such as passing and playing decent defense. Tatum has been playing decent defense as well. But at the same time, you know, when you got a player that's playing decent defense and doing a lot of work offensively, that's something to note. Another thing to note is Kyrie Irving, man. Kyrie Irving, he's been balling, man. He's been balling. He's been shooting 48% from the field and 42% from 3, which is amazing on 6 attempts. He's been averaging 23 points per game. So he's been balling as well. Now, one of the intangible players that I do think will have a big focal point is Daniel Gafford. Now, Daniel Gafford, his stats don't really jump out on the stats. He's only averaging 6 rebounds, but one thing to note is just his defensive presence, man. He has been pretty much averaging 2 blocks per game, and when it does come to just that toughness, he's definitely there. When it comes to him rolling hard to the rim, he's definitely there. Another good intangible player that I do want to speak on is PJ Washington, because he will be one of the defenders for either Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, and he's been playing solid defense and hitting his threes when needed. Same with Derrick Jones. So, man, just to finally break this series down, I got the Dallas Mavericks winning in 6. The reason I got them winning is just because, me personally, I feel like they have been more proven when it comes to their playoff run so far. They have dealt with teams that are known for having great defense, such as the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they dismantled them. And what is the Boston Celtics known for? Their great defense. So at this point, it's like, I don't really see Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, or just this Boston Celtics team in general, slowing down this Dallas Mavericks team, man. When it comes to the offensive side of the game, I definitely think that Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are better offensively than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown when it comes to making their own shot. And overall, I think that will be the most important thing. Which team can create their own shot more efficiently? And I think that the Dallas Mavericks, they just are better at that aspect of the game. So that's my prediction. I got the Dallas Mavericks in 6. I'm done betting against my hometown team. I did it with the Minnesota Timberwolves. It didn't work out well. I did it again. I did it with the LA Clippers. It didn't work out well. I did it with the fucking OKC Thunder, and it didn't work out well. So I'm done doing that. I'm believing in my hometown team, and I think that they will win the NBA Finals. But, hey, that's my prediction. I got Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving sealing the deal, getting their rings, and, being the NBA champions. But, hey, if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff, and I'm out. Peace.